Across 4 major lockdowns and number of mini ones, the majority of the Sri Lankans were indoors for a good part of 12 months. Despite this, I experienced being at different places around the world. One day, I was marveling at the headquarters of Amazon. The very next day, I was seated in the windy sands of Egyptian desert, talking to a shepherd boy. The other day, I was with Ken Allen, the CEO of DHL e-commerce, learning some turnaround strategy. And one day, I was with the monks in the Himalayas in their quiet monasteries. It may sound highly unrealistic if I say I traveled extensively during pandemic. My secret is very, very simple. What I meant was traveling during lockdown. It was me experiencing and exploring the pages of the book. Some of the books which I read were Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, Working Backwards by Khalid Breyer, About Amazon, Radical Simplicity by Ken Allen, About DHL, and some interesting fictions like The Alchemist and many more. What if everyone in the world reads? It is universally acknowledged fact that books are magical. They have the power to inspire change, mold personalities, and enrich imagination. Books can be your mentors. They let you choose your direction and realize your true calling. My mentors and coaches are the books which I read. It's an awesome experience, I would say. Reading a book, putting the learning into practice, and sharing the insight with someone else are true magic, which I'm fascinated about. But I'm not here to talk about the benefits of reading. I'm here to give you a different message, the one that talks about how we can create meaningful social interaction through the habit of reading. Imagine a world full of inspired people who strive to bring a change in them, among them, in the society, and in the country. What if everyone in the world reads, meets, shares the knowledge, and thereby they grow as intellectual individuals? What else we could ask for? Books can bring people together. Now, take for an example. When you read a book, the message or the content in the book may stay with you for a day, for a week, or for a month. But by reading a book, researching it, discussing with the like-minded audience, debating about it, and getting their perspective are some great ways to remember the content of the book. And if the book is enjoyed that way, the lessons may stay with you for life while sharpening your presentation and public speaking skills. My dear friends, best way to remember something is to teach someone. When was the last that you called your friend and got into a great conversation about a book? All the avid readers outside, they read plenty of books, right? But how many of them are sharing those insights and knowledge with the others? Don't you think as a community, we are losing out on something here? We all are very happy when we hear the news of Sri Lanka got 5G and there is a new social media is becoming a new sensation. But I personally feel all these digital transformation and technological advancements are making us less human. What I meant was making us less human. We are losing the human connection. Before digital took over the connection, we met each other, we shared, we learned from each other. Can we get that back? I have a very vivid memory of my childhood back in Jaffna in a small town. During holidays, I had to wake up early morning, go and sit in front of a group of grandpas and read that day's newspaper, starting from the headline to even a small advert. Initially, I hated it. I didn't want to do that. My mother used to chase me out from the bed saying, "Ragulan, go do it." But eventually, I started liking it when looking at the happy and the smiling faces of the grandpas. Even the number of grandpas also started increasing steadily. And the best part was the post-reading session and the many interesting discussions they had among themselves. They took what I read to them and added their thoughts and ideas onto it. I took those summaries and went and shared those with my friends in the neighborhood. My friends loved me for that, respected me. Even I was looked upon like an intellect. We also had a similar gathering like this with a teacher in the neighborhood. She got all the kids to sit around under a big tree and she would read a book. Just to make sure that we all paid attention, she used to ask us questions. So we kids then went on discussing the things she explained, argue among ourselves. even go back home and narrate those stories to our siblings and parents. If I recall those memories and the social interaction we had, I tend to feel the younger generation these days, they are missing on a lot, seriously a lot. If we had captured those moments as photographs, they would have been black and white, but those memories remain so colorful in my mind. These days, kids and adults, they are immersed in devices, even forgetting to talk to people next to them. How many wonderful moments are missed because of this addiction to technology? But I personally feel the humans will go back to their roots, and the need for social interaction will definitely re-emerge, and then the learnings from each other will never stop. Now, you may ask, Ragulan, in this digitally distracted world, with all these busy lifestyle, is it possible for us to gather people to talk about books? Or is it possible for us to have meaningful conversation based on books? And it may sound unlikely. My dear friends, that can be done and it's happening. Connected by our love for reading and the experience of how books can change life. Myself and my good friend KVT Ramesh from Visakhapatnam, India, both of us set the first foundation for a global movement for readers to bring the long-lost social interaction back and to spread the love for books. So how it all started, you may wonder. So back in the days, I wanted the team to read, but it didn't go as expected. So we made it mandatory for them to read a chapter every day and present it to the team. That was the birth of the concept. Very simply, read, present, share the insight, and inspire each other to read the book. We also invited some of the friends to support the presenters and to take the activity seriously. Gradually, an internal staff activity in Colombo became a startup model. Now it's empowering readers and aspiring knowledge seekers on a global scale. So what happens in these sessions, you may ask? Readers meet every week, of course, online these days, and they discuss and present the book that they read to the like-minded audience for a good 90 minutes. Each one of them are exposed to a minimum of 48 books presentation done by the fellow readers a year. Even if they travel to any other countries, they can attend these sessions and get that inspiration from readers. What we also have seen, after attending the session, they get inspired by the book, by them, and read to expand the knowledge. Each and every segment of our book club is very unique. Take, for an example, kids and teens. Kids these days, they don't have social interaction based on books. Having them come together to read, present, and to discuss their favorite book is a guaranteed way to make sure that they grow up with intellectual mind, with deep perspective and understanding. Imagine the future with these readers. How great it would be if these readers were sent to parliament to rule a country. When I say inspiring kids, an incident comes to my mind. One of our teen readers, his name is Shekhandu Damsat, a 14-year-old teen boy who had a chance to present Beyond the Power of Your Subconscious Mind by James Jensen. That was his first public presentation and also his first non-fiction reading. During the day of presentation, where there were 50-odd readers in the room who was eagerly waiting, this boy took the stage and inspired everyone by presenting the book Beyond the Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Few days after the event, one of the fathers in the room who was there who sent us a message saying, "Thank you so much, Shekhandu. Because of your session, my son started to wake up early in the morning." So what Shekhandu did, he actually shared a small insight from the book, how you can train your mind to wake up early. Not only the father and the son, even the adults got the inspiration from Shekhandu during the session. How would you feel about your son or daughter presenting and sharing the knowledge with the others, inspiring them to be a better version, and most importantly, being a reason for someone to change? That's what Shekhandu's parents felt that day. Now this boy is no more a beginner now. He goes and presents in larger corporations and inspire everyone to read and change positively. Same thing goes to companies as well. Think about it. An adult spends 1/3 of his whole life in the offices or workplaces. Sometimes we spend that productive hours in talking about others, internal politics, office gossips, or general politics. Imagine if reading is incorporated to the personal development of organizational employees, if they were made part of training. Now you may think how it becomes possible to get the staff to read and present a book while they are packed with work. And moreover, most of them are non-readers. What if I put it like, organization helps the employees to get into a new habit, a habit that spreads positivity within the work environment. And what if it becomes mandatory as part of the performance appraisal? And that's what's happening at our corporate clubs. Researchers and books say, any activity you consistently do for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And when continued for 90 days, it becomes a lifestyle. With reading-based social interaction, I believe we can create a win-win work environment. In an era where digital connections are dominating, the simple act of getting together to celebrate the magic of books is very powerful in itself. Hope you will definitely agree. With thought-provoking sessions happening at any given day of the week in 4 countries, 22 regions, with 1,500 plus book lovers, 3,000 odd books presented and discussed in just 1 year time. I'm extremely confident the world is changing and the lives are getting transformed too. Having said that, let me conclude. First, reading and discussing a book is a great way to create social interaction because it helps you and me to learn from each other through the habit of reading. Second, the best way to do this is to create a group of like-minded community who are benefiting others while also benefiting themselves. And third, this also leads to transformation through reading. In the entire process, we become more knowledgeable in every aspect of life, and that reflects in our own life too. Let's dream of a world that brings the long-lost social interaction back through the habit of reading. Let's build a world where everyone intellectually inspiring each other, changing the world a better place to live, and leaving behind a legacy to cherish. Thank you.